Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit. We've put out some travel vlogs and things, but I know the pace at which I was uploading at a certain point earlier on has kind of dwindled a bit. I was sitting a couple weeks ago thinking like, how do we revive this? How do we kind of get things going again? Knowing that I'm ADD and that the best way to get me to do something is give me a legitimate deadline, I thought, why not do Vlogmas? For those of you who don't know what Vlogmas is, it's a good old tradition on YouTube where you kind of film every day from the start of December to Christmas and just get to share, festive, fun, holiday things. And so I thought, well, December's coming up. I want to get back to posting more regularly. We're also going to have a bunch of stuff going on. So December is always a bit of a Thunderdome for Brett and I. We've got Thanksgiving. I always then have a show in Chicago the weekend after that. We've got Brett's birthday. We've got the holidays. Then we've got our wedding anniversary. And then we have New Year's. You add in, Christmas shopping and all the other stuff that comes along with it. The other piece that maybe makes this year a great option is that we've got some big milestones. Brett is turning 40, and it's actually our 5th wedding anniversary. The other piece that's wonderful is that even though I've been on my burnout journey, which I talked about a bit in some of the podcast episodes that I posted, one side effect of that is that I've turned into a homebody. 99% of the time, I'm right there on the couch next to my dude. And so this also gives me a perfect excuse to get off my butt, book some fun stuff, go outside, see the world, enjoy, laugh, live, etc. And in an attempt to fill out a whole month of things and you're not just sitting and watching me at work, I booked a bunch of fun, festive stuff. You'll see later in this video, we went to the Pentatonix concert. I'm pretty amped. I feel like I'm as prepared as I possibly can be. My goal is to make it 31 days with you guys and just kind of bring you along. Yeah, I guess this rambling intro is over. Let's get on to Vlogmas Day 1. Creeper. Okay, just a couple more minutes. Just a couple more minutes. Good morning. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 1. Scrap and I just got to work a couple minutes ago. Got quite a full day actually, so this should be fun. We've got tonight, we're going to the Pentatonix concert with my in-laws and my husband. It's a bit of an annual holiday tradition, and I haven't been able to go, I think, the last 2 years because of work or something that came up. So excited for that. They're amazing. Anyone with ears knows that. But then for my day, I've got my usual morning meetings, a leadership call, and then we've got a deal review for the rest of Q4, my one-on-one with our CEO, and then some product design stuff. So running up until I think 4 o'clock, and then heading home to go listen to some sweet singing. If you are new here, or I guess haven't listened to some of the podcast episodes I put out on this channel, I graduated medical school, went into research instead of into clinical practice, and then made the shift over into business. And so I work for a company that does medical imaging software for researchers, and I'm responsible for kind of the overall strategy, how we evolve our offering into different spaces, and kind of who we should potentially partner with. And one of the main things that I've actually spent a majority of my week on, and that I've got to finish up a presentation for, is our general healthcare strategy with the NIH cuts that have happened this year. We're trying to kind of pivot our approach to help those researchers continue to do their work, while also still making the margins that we have to on the product. So I've been working in spreadsheets all week, which is not how my brain works. I work in whiteboards and slide decks, but I'm finally at a point where I feel good about where we're at, and so I'm gonna spend the next hour and a half or so that we've got here before my meetings start, just getting all of those thoughts put into slides. The joys of being 36.
We thought I was going to have a 2x. It's got 10x. Let's go. We thought it was going to be 2.5. Like it's here, but it's not.
But it's not. Yeah. And I wonder if it's maybe a stretch, at least today, but they're investing so heavily in early drug discovery with AI/ML. Is there a world in which you get that first efficacy signal and you can actually feed those pixels back into the simulation of it's not just
100%.
reshaping the molecule, but it's actually looking at the uptake?
Would we pick? Is there a more obvious area, ophthalmology, oncology, neurology, that it feels like a no shit?
Onc is a really good example of the arc that's been taken on that, where it's like chemo, just like nuclear bomb chemo was the thing, right? And you were simply relying on the fact that those cancer cells eat faster and more than your regular cells. Then you get into the immunotherapies that are Keytrudas of the world, right? That are literally going only to that cell type. And we'll just get more and more specific as we go. I think that if we're looking at overall maturity, ophtha is the opposite. Like, I think that if there is something that is going to break wide open in the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be ophtha. Should we go for a walk? Yeah, let's go. It's a stunning day. Gross. But just like that, we've gotten through 7 hours of work. Only a couple more to go. Got my presentations done. Now just have one more meeting to talk about partner strategy. And then we'll finally be able to go home. I also ran out of sugar-free Red Bulls, which is not helping with my focus, but here we are. Also, it is incredibly weird trying to vlog in public. Okay. All right. Done with work. A little early, it's 3:30, but gonna go stop by the grocery store quick. And then I think my in-laws should be over. I'll hang out for a little bit and then head out. I think we're gonna do dinner somewhere over by the concert venue, which is in St. Paul. I will say overall, it's a successful day, so I'll take that. There aren't many of those where you actually get stuff done or move the needle on some of this stuff. Think we should go home? Oh, good boy. Ready to go home? Okay, up. Good job. Did you have a long day at work? Yeah. I'm just an old man. Oh, buddy. Keep going.
You guys should park on the street.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just on the other side. They're not very far down. At a burger place.
I think it was the Red Cow.
Yeah, and it went pretty quick, and so.
Yeah.
And it was busy as hell there. Remember, right?
I said the other thing I remember. Yeah, that is not the door you go in. There we go.
Yeah, so.
It's Christmas time in the birds.
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds.
Sweet boy.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
They're asking for trouble. They're asking for trouble.
Maybe they're sassy ones. Maybe they're like, oh, you know.
Whatever for lunch tomorrow, not me, I'm out of here.
What do you guys have for lunch? Your turkeys? That's a turkey running.
We're home. It's almost 11 o'clock. Got to work at like 6, so I can tell you that my battery is drained. But We had an awesome night. Sorry if I sound super stuffed up. I don't know where that came on from. Yeah, I came home from work. They got here shortly after, spent some time catching up, and then we headed over to St. Paul. For any of you that know Minneapolis and or St. Paul, it is like you can literally see it from here. It is not that far, but the getting over the bridge on the river, traffic was insane. So it took us 45 minutes at least to go what's probably a 20-minute drive. And whatever. We went to a new restaurant for us over in St. Paul called Grolla, handmade Italian pasta. It was delicious. And the wait staff was great. So after dinner, we kind of rushed over to the concert itself. Started around 7. We had floor seats, which was great, and kind of tucked in. Show started shortly after, and for any of you who have seen Pentatonix live, I mean, what else can you say? They all can sing very clearly. I will say, based on other concerts we've seen of theirs, Mitch's mic was low, which is kind of a bummer because he's arguably our favorite. But it was so amazing to see them. They are just disgustingly talented. And the major kind of left field ball, there was a cello and drum section that was unfreaking believable. And as we were leaving, I glanced back, and one of my best friends from college, who I just saw a couple weeks ago, and her husband were just like a couple people behind me in line. So I went back and said hi to them. It was awesome to see them. I love Katie and Ben. They're awesome. Headed home. It's now about 11 o'clock. I am trying to be a good YouTuber, and I'm filming this, even though I would like to be horizontal and sleeping. But one of the things that I've seen in the channels that I followed previously is that they always kind of end off the day with a question or some sort of a sentiment. And so I've got some predetermined questions that I've tentatively marked for these days, but if you all have questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I would much rather answer organically the things that you guys are actually interested in. But the question that I had kind of earmarked for today is, what are you most excited for about Vlogmas? In kind of the intro clip, I mentioned a number of reasons of why I've wanted to do this, but one of the things that I think Brett and I joke about, but is very real, is like we expend our energy almost fully throughout the week at work. And so we're not going out for dinners. We're not, we have kind of bursts or periods where we go to on a trip, and it's kind of those like big waves of moments that we rely on to counteract the work obsession. And something like this, I think a good way. This is day 1, so catch me on, day 10 and see if I think that. But it forces you to look for things that are happening in your neighborhood, in your city. Like, what could we go do that I just simply wouldn't have looked into? And I've already booked a couple things for us that are festive, which is really fun. And as a couple who we traditionally split our time over Christmas, there are years that like we just don't get a tree, we don't decorate, we don't really do anything. But by kind of setting this goal for myself to do Vlogmas, it is almost like forcing me out of the rut to go and enjoy the season. But I'm also excited to film and edit that content. I was actually kind of surprised when I came back to YouTube. There were some people, this is such a weird thing to say, but I have a standing set of subscribers. I don't know how many of you are even active at this point because many of you came from, 10 plus years ago. But then, of course, you put it on Facebook or Insta, and I've had people who I went to like grade school with just like send a super nice message. I checked in on the podcast, or I checked in on this, and like, it's really cool what you're doing, or I hope you're well, or this was great to kind of like through the internet catch up with you. And I think we often forget how many people would, in a non-materialistic or surface level way, enjoy just like catching up with someone that they knew before or that they follow on some platform. I know I love it like that. There are OG YouTubers that I still watch their Vlogmases, or I watch their stuff, and it's like, in a weird way, I grew up with them, so it's not that I know them because I'm not insane, and I don't engage in like parasocial relationships that way. But I do know enough. Like, I know about that you got married, and I know that you have a kid, and I know that you have another kid, and I know that you have a dog, and oh, there's the dog, and it is some sort of like a familiar thing, and then you just get to kind of live this like festive month from afar with them. And so we're going to give it a shot. I just hope this is fun. It's an escape. You guys can come along, hang out with us. Brett's been really waiting for his time in the spotlight. And so I'm sure you all will see more than enough of him throughout this month. I am going to sign off. It's been fun. Happy start to Vlogmas, and hopefully you'll tune back in for the next 30 days.